This is a day that my Father has made. I will rejoice. Jah, I thank you for this morning. Oh, it's a brand new day. Little bird, they thank him and they sing. So let's all get down and pray.
Good evening, subscribers. Welcome to Teacher and Prof for another episode, and we have a very exciting episode. I think it's exciting.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Interesting, and I think it's exciting as well. You know, as you all know, the world of the original sports, football, was almost brought to its knees this week.
That's why I don't see the excitement in it. I was so scared.
You are going. You will. No, you. Well, listen. Excitement in how it happened, how it transpired, and how fast the story developed and crashed.
Yeah.
That's the exciting part.
Fast rise, faster landing.
So we are referring to the European Super League.
A lot of people. I can't hear a lot of people. European what? Super what?
League.
So you have to do some background.
So, European Super League, right? Would replace the Champions League. And for those of you who don't know what the Champions League is, go and Google it because I'm not explaining what to you. It's been around for far too long for me to explain to you what the Champions League is. Champions League is elite European competition. That's all I'm telling you. Elite European competition.
I would say Champions League is second to World Cup football.
Exactly. No, not even the Euros
No.
is as important as the Champions League.
Champions League is the top
The
football club in Europe coming together and playing each other. Only the top ones, current top ones.
Creme de la creme. And within the creme de la creme, we had the elite of European football. 12 elite clubs. Now, there are more than 12, but 12 clubs decided that they wanted to break away from only the Champions League, right? So we're talking about in England, Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Arsenal.
And
right?
there's one more.
No. And Chelsea.
No, go on again. Man U.
Man City. Arsenal.
You know what I mentioned my team, that's why. Go on now.
Liverpool and Tottenham.
Oh, Tottenham never
mentioned. Was one I didn't mention. And then you had 3 teams in Spain. You had Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid. And they had 3 teams in Italy. Juventus, Inter Milan, and AC Milan. Those are the 6 teams. Those are the 12 teams that were looking to break away.
So PSG never come on board yet?
PSG, nor Bayern, nor Dortmund had yet come aboard, but their invitation was open. Okay, originally it's supposed to be 50, so they're thinking of having 15 founding members, right? So you have 12, and then I mentioned PSG, Paris Saint-Germain in France. You had Bayern Munich and Dortmund in Germany, and that would be 15. And then what would happen is every year they would invite 5 more teams, depending on the position in their league, in their respective league. So it would be 20 teams, right? And each team is looking at a 4.2 or 4.6 billion dollar payout annually, and over 23 years they would trickle down $3.1 billion to the other leagues in the respective countries to help with costs.
That's a promise, though. That's not in stone. But that's a promise to us, in my opinion, to make it more acceptable.
It's
You
it's
know?
within it's in the agreement they signed with Chase or Morgan Stanley.
Yeah, but not with legally with the clubs and the league and the FA.
No, because they weren't yet involved in
But
it.
there's nobody to hold them accountable if the league and Chase it. You know, so when I bother give them the $3 million, we'll keep it and share it among ourselves. There's nobody to say, but you didn't. There's no agreement with it.
Well, it's 3.1 billion, right? And what would happen is that if the league, if the league was accepted, then I'm sure they would have had something in writing with the various federation how the money goes. But that's what it was. Now,
Mhm.
now I've been hearing about this Super League for a while. It wasn't yesterday. It wasn't last weekend. It wasn't in January. Certainly wasn't 2020 or 2019. 3 years it has been in planning. Which begs to differ, right? Why was it such a cluster crap? If they had 3 years to plan, how did they get this so wrong? Bad timing. They didn't have the right spokesman. They needed a proper PR team in place.
Let me ask you a question. Can a bad plan have a right?
So listen, we are saying it's a bad plan, right?
Overall.
But, however, I don't think it's a bad plan only because we weren't provided with all the information or the wrong person presented your case.
But you're hearing more now. Are you closer to accepting it in theory than you were?
So
before?
listen, okay, so listen what I'm saying. Look, so the European Super League, the purpose of the European Super League was solely to replace the Champions League. It had nothing to do with the regular club competition in each country. It wouldn't have affected the English Premier League. It wouldn't have affected the Spanish League. It wouldn't have affected any league except for UEFA bread and butter Champions League.
So UEFA is the only person that would be damaged by this.
No. What I have a small issue with is the fact that, and it's not even a big issue, just a minute, is the fact that every year the same 15 teams would qualify. So I don't think it would benefit the growth of European soccer in the sense that the small teams, because I don't know how they would invite those 5 teams, where they would come from. Would country in Montenegro or in Russia or in Poland, would those club teams qualify for those 5 teams?
Only 6 countries them targeting. The 6 elite European countries. That is England, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and what else?
No, Portugal, no?
Is Portugal?
So you have
Maybe Portugal.
England.
I think I said the 6 of them. I saw the 6 of them.
Yeah, but what about Holland though?
No, Holland wasn't in it.
Because I think the Dutch club teams have been more successful in Europe as opposed to the Portuguese team. But I think so. It's England, Spain, France, Germany, Italy. Let's say Portugal then.
I saw 6. I'm sure I saw
And it wasn't Belgium, right?
No. Because Belgium is strong as a
Yeah, but it would have
country.
it,
As a
it would
country,
have
but not clubs.
it would have to be 5 teams though, because it's five places.
It's probably 5 then.
Number 5.
Probably 5.
So they're still picking from the one elite. So
Yeah, but you have a small problem there. I have that problem there too, but I have a bigger problem. My problem is currently we have the Champions League, and you said it's spread far. It's spread across the entire
Europe.
Europe, right? So small clubs have something to play for.
Right.
By tapping.
So that
by
would be
tapping.
my issue. Well, I'm gonna cut you. So that would be my issue with it. It doesn't.
Okay.
It didn't include the smaller clubs. It doesn't seem as if it would include the smaller clubs. So there will be no growth for these. Yeah, we would not. You and I would not know that there's a Hadji playing in Bulgaria. We wouldn't see him until one of
World
those
Cup.
or
World
one of
Cup.
those teams pick him up, buy him.
Yeah, I'll work up. We see him in the World Cup, you know.
But would they make World Cup though? If they're not playing the best teams?
No,
Club wise.
until him playing for his country, you know, that have nothing to do with the club. Then we just say, oh, this guy should be playing in Europe, one of the big leagues.
No, but what I'm saying is, if well, maybe not. I was trying to say that if he's not competing against the best clubs,
his skill level wouldn't be at
talent. Bulgaria might not make the World Cup.
Sometimes, like Amis Rodriguez, he became famous in the World Cup. So sometimes you come with talent, and people say, "Oh," and then you got the interest from there. So not everybody develop in the top clubs before them come internationally recognized. Some people
you have to qualify for the World Cup first, right?
Yeah, man. Anyway, but Argentina probably could still.
Continue your point, sir. I'm sorry for the interruption. Go ahead.
No, probably Bulgaria still could qualify. Bibi Gardner went to World Cup unknown, and you know, a club excited over him.
I'm not talking about the individual player. I'm talking about the country.
No, man. About
you know,
individual players would not probably be seen on the world stage through the club system because the club will be taking a back seat because there's no Champions League.
Right.
And Champions League give them an exposure. And sometimes they even play better in the Champions League than what they play in the country's league because they know that they're playing among the elites.
Yeah,
and there's a shine and they've gone up because they've shine against. Because it's one thing to play against your own country team, you know. The club team within your country. But it's another to play well against clubs outside of your country.
That you're not familiar with.
Yes. So these teams would cut off from that opportunity. Because it is to be just 12 or this 15 team every year. It's like NFL. There's no demotion, no promotion. It's just the same numbers. So there's no incentive to win versus not win.
Since you ventured into the American sports arena, right? I heard, well, I read several reports, and I'm just going to mention 2 of them. One of them was blaming the American owners for Liverpool, Manchester United, and Arsenal for coming up with this Super League because they're saying it's like the American sports, or it's organized and set up where there's no relegation, there's no promotion. It's just the same X amount of teams play year in, year out. And so they're saying, oh, this would benefit the American This is why the owners came up with it, because it resembles the American system, and it would just means more money in their pocket, because they wouldn't have to worry about relegation or anything. They were assured of a place in an elite competition every year, just like an NFL team. It doesn't matter if, because in the NFL system, if you come last, you get the top draft pick that year. So you have the opportunity to build a squad.
Ability. NFL and also the basketball have the same.
No. Every American system is every American sports, even MLS.
Same system, same draft system.
Same draft system, same X amount of team play every year. There's no relegation at all or promotion. It's
The
just
weakest team get the first pick.
which is good. It works because over time it's the worst team becomes the best.
Mhm.
But they're blaming the American owners in these clubs for you know for
You
trying
know what's
for
you
trying
know
to get
what's
this.
big- you know what's the big difference? You know that maybe attack the American system versus the world system. American sports treat them sports like it is the World Series, and them alone are played, you know.
World Series. It's only in America.
Oh, America is the world. And what the owners of these football clubs didn't realize that soccer is a universal sport. It's not a world sport in one country.
Yeah, but
So
listen.
you can't treat it like how US treats sport.
But listen.
So this thing have to be. FIFA has always tried to spread the participation of football or soccer to as far and wide as you can.
But listen.
And that's a big difference.
But that's not true. That's not true.
Going the reverse.
That is not true. The idea didn't come from the Americans. It's not true. The American owners weren't the ones who came up with this plan. They didn't initiate it. This came from Real Madrid. You know, and I heard one person saying, what did they say about? They were actually blaming Manchester United. They were blaming the owners of Manchester United for all of this.
For the initiating or the of the whole plan. Which part of it?
We repeat what you said. For initiating and what?
Are the downfall of the plan. Which part them blaming Manchester for?
Initiated.
Oh.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Initiating. Because the Glazers own an NFL team.
Mm-hmm. And Manchester is not owned by a US.
No, it's owned by a US Glazer. The Glazer family.
American.
The American.
So you are saying that it's not Man U, it's not City, it's not Arsenal, it's more like it's more Real Madrid started the role.
All right. To be fair to Real Madrid, I'm not gonna say they're solely responsible, right? But the idea didn't come from these American owners.
All right. I know where the idea come from, initially. But who to pinpoint, we don't know. But people start to talk in meetings because there have been meetings before the 3 years, how they want to reform the UEFA Champions.
They've been saying they've been talking about this for years.
Years, long before the 3 years. The reform of, but it wasn't a billionaire arrival, so a replacement. It was to over improve Champions League for the club's benefit. So that was the table talk. And I can imagine now, amongst that table talk over and over, somebody probably come up and say, you know, the UEFA joke, you know, so competition they want, probably just out of the thing here. And then somebody latch on it and it developed from there. So to pinpoint who it will be very difficult to say. Is this country started from that country? Because maybe all them loosely say it, and then it started root.
So for those who don't know, before I respond, the Glazer family owned the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Right? That's what Tom Brady team.
Currently, yeah.
Current Super Bowl champions.
Mm.
Yeah. Now listen, the 12. Okay, so the elite wanted a bigger piece of the pie. Right? UEFA answer to that was to increase the Champions League from 32 teams to 36 teams.
Well, in the wrong direction, according to them.
According to them and including the players, it's in the wrong direction. It's more games. Okay, so every team in it currently in Champions League, in the format it's in, first round, you play 6 games. With this new format, you're going to be playing 10 games. 4 more games, right? So you're looking at already packed football calendar. You're going to pack more games in. It's already packed, you know. Everybody complains about it.
But was that UEFA's answer to more payout to say for us to pay more, we have to get more games?
That was UEFA answer. No, that was UEFA answer.
What was the proposal for the clubs? So how they could get more money? Are they saying that there's more money already there?
So listen, there are more money is already there because the TV rights is billions of dollars. However, I think so they all met on Friday.
Just last Friday.
UEFA and to vote.
For this purpose, recording purpose. Last Friday was what? Because the
19th? No, the 7th. No, the 16th.
16th.
Yeah. So they met last week, Friday the 16th.
Mm-hmm.
UEFA and all the clubs met, right? And UEFA UEFA have already put forward the proposal months ago, right? The teams had time to digest and make a decision. So Friday the 6th was the day they would meet and vote on the UEFA proposal, right?
Going forward, yeah.
So they met, they voted, including the elite, all voted to go along with UEFA plans for expansion, right?
So what you're saying that all 12 elite club voted yes to UEFA's plan proposal to expand the league going forward.
Right. Now remember, the only reason why UEFA came up with this plan is because UEFA know the 12 teams were talking about breaking away. And in order to stop them from doing it or to appease them, they came up with this plan. The teams want.
They agreed to it. They said, okay, you want more money? I will give you more money, but I have to expand the league to get more money. And when I get the more money, I'll give you the more money. And they agree.
They agreed. I'm not sure. UEFA didn't say if everybody vote. If there was any yay or nay. UEFA just said they agreed to move forward. I'm not sure. So apparently there was a majority. It doesn't say who, you know. who abstained from voting or who said yeah or nay. That
The
was
UFS spoke, I got the impression that all Elite 12 voted.
but that's coming from UEFA.
Yeah.
That's what UEFA is saying. No,
All
listen.
12? Yeah.
UEFA said all 12. We don't know. Although they and it's
No, they would have no, they would have said something, and it's a days now,
not
and I've heard nobody come and say, no, I didn't vote for it.
not in this atmosphere. They just want to move on, and they just want to forget Monday happened and move on. Right?
No, all except one.
Not one, it's four.
Four still rolling on.
Barcelona haven't done anything. Real Madrid haven't done anything. I haven't heard Juventus withdrawing, nor have I heard AC Milan withdrawing.
That's true. But out of the four, only one make a statement.
Out of four, no, 2 minutes. Well, one made a statement because he's a chairman.
Yeah.
However, Barcelona president did make a statement. But people are willing to forgive him because he just won the presidency and he wasn't initially involved. He inherited something that was already in play. But he's saying he's saying the Super League is necessary.
Okay. And we can understand Barca and Real Madrid. The Spanish teams are under great pressure financially and wouldn't really need a top up and sure revenue. I talk about sure revenue.
Right.
Annually getting this money annually would be great to them coppers. So they would want to hold on to this idea longer than the other clubs.
Than other clubs. Even the Italian clubs. Even Italy. Italy economy is not that well either. Italy used to be the biggest league in the world. No, they're not.
Yeah.
AC Milan had to sell the club to an investor. I don't even know who it is now. You know, it was an Asian company. Is it now an American company? I don't know. They have changed hands since original owner.
What?
Yeah, but Juventus had to sell majority shares to another company. The chairman for Juventus is no longer the majority shareholder in Juventus. He has like 40%. The other company has most 60%. He could lose his job. Angeli, he's no longer the majority shareholder. Or his family is no longer the majority shareholder. You know, they spend millions of dollars on Ronaldo.
So you want to come to that point now? So like you want to come to the point.
No, I'm not saying that only.
But you mentioned that we can't turn back, we have to go straight.
We can go straight into it. I mean, listen, we don't have to go straight into it. I'm just saying that Italy as well have something to gain.
Oh, well, you mentioned Ronaldo, and
we can expand on that later on. Just food for thought. But I have a burning question. Let me tell you my point. Let me tell you how I'm looking at this. I think, as someone said, UEFA is the lesser of both evils. Because UEFA plan expansion doesn't really benefit football. It's more games for the players.
I think I was that person who said that, right?
No, someone that said it and then I mentioned it to you and then you concur.
Okay.
But you did hit the nail on it and say you did say that. You know, you did definitely say that.
UEFA has brought surely. I can look back and say this Champions League initiative spark a great deal of excitement and interest into football right across the world.
Champions League on a whole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Champions League is not for Europe. Champions League is for all football lovers, all soccer lovers across the world. Although we don't have a club in it, you know. But what happened?
But remember now.
What happened? People across the world have a club in Europe. And because somebody have a club in Europe outside of their own country that cheers on and support, Champions League have that vast amount of following. Right?
Also,
everybody heard when they see that Champions League is being targeted and being challenged.
So because of Champions League, right? You know, so every federation now have its own Champions League, right?
Yeah.
And within that, FIFA cleverly created the World Club Cup. So every Champions League player, every Champions League winner plays in the Club World Cup.
World Cup, yeah.
World Cup. Yeah. So you have a Barcelona playing a Santos or playing whoever is from the CONCACAF region, maybe a DC United. If we're ever to beat the Mexican team, because Mexico dominates our region, I have a team.
Portmore United.
Portmore United. You know, you had to get that one in. Okay, sir. We support more. So so the winner of every Champions League in every federation, and that's football federation. That's not the country federation, but football federation plays in the Club World Cup. You know, so and that's good. I think it's good to see a Santos or a Portmore United playing, you know, Real Madrid or Barcelona or Bayern Munich or whichever team. You know, it's good. It's good exposure. You know, but don't think for a minute UEFA is doing this for the fans. They're not. In my opinion. They are not. And UEFA had some gripes before this. And they spin and they worked it and they got the fans all riled up. And they were able to hit these clubs way below the belt. A lot of these guys had personal issues with some of these chairmen for some of these clubs. And they were able to exact revenge on these guys purely because of this. Because of how they spinned it. Why are the fans upset?
As a fan, I think, from my perspective as a fan, I have a problem because my club is not necessarily an elite club.
No longer.
No, not speaking to, no, my club is in it, you know, but speaking broader than that, on behalf of fans like myself, perspective, my club is not necessarily a part of the 12 or will be a part of the 15. And what problem I have, I never personally have a problem with UEFA and Champions League system, because I see currently I see a Leicester who's not elite still fighting to go to Champions League. I see a West Ham who's not elite still fighting to go to Champions League. I see Everton who's not elite still fighting to go to Champions League. They all have a chance.
Okay.
And that's what broadens the fan base and the interest in Champions League.
Wait, hold on. Maybe I asked the question wrong. So let me rephrase that. right? Why are the fans of the elite clubs and why are the fans of the English elite clubs angry? Because they're the only ones protesting. Nothing happened in Spain. Nothing happened in Italy. Why the 6 clubs fans protesting?
I can't put it down to that because the English football system is the league is a very competitive one. And I think they're looking out for the league. They're not looking out for themselves. I disagree.
I disagree.
I
tell you why.
One. I see the players' initiative, and the players' initiative so far has not spoke to the elite, being elite. They spoke to the general football and the fans. So, and the fans is running on the same track. So let me hear how you differ from that argument.
Okay, so listen. Now, here's what happened, right? UEFA was the ones who put that idea in play. Champions League should be earned, or football is for fans. They put that word into play. The fans jumped on it. The players have no choice, but to back
the fans.
The status quo, because fans have already come out against it.
All right. So you tell me, say what you say now in a nutshell, that UEFA throw out a bait and the fans then bite.
Yeah, but remember,
that's what I
said.
Yes.
No. Let me elaborate on it. I don't think the fans at the time, Monday morning, 9:30 when this was announced, 9:30 a.m. Monday morning, right? Greenwich Time Meridian, GMT. I don't think the fans were fully aware of what this European elite was. They didn't know. They did not know that only Champions League football would have been affected. They think these guys were moving away from the league. Separated themselves from the league.
Disagree.
Let me say my argument, sir, and then you can respond, right?
This is not new. It's not new. The announcement is sudden, but what the league was that it's going to replace champions.
Remember, not everybody knew about this league. Not everybody knew about it. So,
right.
All right. So what I'm saying is this. I think I may have lost my train of thought. Let me see if I can gather it, pick up the pieces. So what I'm saying is this. The fans had no idea what happened. UEFA took advantage of that situation, got the fans all riled up. And I'm going to tell you why I'm saying this, right? I'm saying this because nothing has happened anywhere else except for in England, right? Manchester, Liverpool. I want to say Manchester, I mean United. And I think the reason why these English fans are so riled up.
Chelsea.
Listen, Chelsea fans are different though. Chelsea fans. They protested and they were done with it because Peter Cech came out, made a statement, it went away. Manchester City. Have you heard much about Manchester City? No. Right?
They protest. They delayed because.
Wait.
With protesting, and it caused a 15 minutes delay of the match. So they got airtime, they got attention.
What I'm trying to say is that Chelsea, Manchester City, Tottenham fans may have protested, but they didn't protest for long. The voice wasn't that strong as Manchester United,
Liverpool.
Arsenal, as you have seen today, and Liverpool. Do you know why? All three clubs are owned by Americans.
They got America again.
Listen, these fans are still angry that American own the club. Still angry about that. And they use this opportunity to let it be heard loud and clear. They have been trying for years to get out Kroenke and the Glazer family. Every opportunity they get, they attack these people. And I'm not lying. They went hard for these Americans. And that's the reason why in the English press, they're blaming the American owner for everything because they're anti-American. America know nothing about football. It's all business for us. All business. They don't know how to manage a football club. They don't understand the sentiments behind it. They don't understand the history behind it.
And to be fair, they have protested along that line on different occasions before. Not only this current one, but they have made those sentiments that before that the Americans just don't know anything about football. You know, and so some of the decisions them was shaky and more business-like and not for the benefit.
Listen, these clubs are owned by individual. Do you think these people?
Not them alone. Leicester is still owned by an individual.
Yeah, he's Asian.
Yeah. So the Asian
Man City is owned by the Arabs, right?
Right. So these people have a better sense of football.
Tottenham is owned by an Englishman.
So I know I put it out there to say it's not only these three is owned by individuals. I just put it out there.
I'm putting out where the individual come from. They're not Americans.
And you're saying that these individuals have a better sense of football than the Americans.
It's only because they're Americans. The English don't like the Americans. The English don't like the Americans controlling their football clubs. Because Americans are idiots when it comes to football. Because we call the sports soccer. Or they, not me, them.
So you're concurring with the fans on that point, that single point about the Americans controlling football, and they should not play a part in English club football. You agree with it?
No, I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. I don't agree with that. If that's the case, then it should be across the board for everybody. Then let the Englishman own the club. Then you're telling me that the Americans.
There was nobody there to pick it up when they were in trouble. That is some form of great ungratefulness, you know.
Ungratefulness. Listen, look at it. Let's talk about the team that's at the bottom of the league. Which team is at the bottom of the league? No. Where's Fulham? 16?
Second last. Third to last.
So they're 17.
No, man, that's 18th.
Yeah, 18. Who owns Fulham Football Club?
That's American too?
American owned football. And listen, the reason why the Fulham was in trouble, you know. Yeah. Fulham was in trouble. And he bought the club. But you know why he bought the club? It was all a business deal. You know why he bought the club? The property that Fulham sits on. One of the prime real estate in London. That land, the only club that sits on a more prime real estate than Fulham is Chelsea. Only Chelsea.
That's the location alone. That's pure the location.
All right. And I say this to say that it's a necessary evil.
It was. Because it saved the club.
It saved the club.
There was a
Listen.
time when the Englishman owners used to just sell it, cash in their percentage, cash in coming out of football, and there was nobody picking up in England, nobody picking up in Europe. So the Americans saw the vacuum created, saw the desperation, saw the demise of some of these big clubs, and run in and save them.
Well, they knew what these clubs had to offer. They knew that these clubs were and can be successful again.
It can be viable, yeah.
You know, Manchester United is one of the most successful clubs in the world. Merchandise-wise, they sell the most jersey worldwide.
Arsenal is a profitable club, despite the lack of trophy. It's always doing well on the books. It's
Always.
a book.
Yeah, it's all about, and so for the American, it's a bottom line, the books, the money.
Because Arsenal operates more like American clubs.
You know,
long before the Americans come, they operate. The fans, the pre-season ticket thing, the price is higher than most other clubs, and they still buy it.
Right, because of the fan base. No,
Yeah.
no. So Arsenal fans are angry at Arsenal owner because he's not investing as he should in the club. So they want to get him out, right? Manchester United fans are angry at Manchester United because when the Glazer family bought Manchester United, they used the club money to buy the club.
So money was in the kitty.
Yeah. So the club is saddled with a huge debt, mortgage. You know.
The NFL team. They use the NFL team money to buy Manchester United.
No, they got the loan from Stanley Morgan.
What they're saying? The mortgage, basically mortgage out Manchester United.
Yes. So the club is worth blank money. So okay, that's money.
Okay. Collaterals. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. They use and people are, because Manchester United had no debt before they took over. Mind you.
Then what was the reason for the sale then? What was the purpose of getting out?
The owner?
Yeah.
The owner just wanted to cash in. Simple.
They just...
Remember now, Manchester United, who was Manchester United? But it was a one person. Somebody came to him, just like Newcastle. Someone came to him, offered him a shitload of money, because and they probably offered more than the asking price or what the club is valued at, and he took the money. And the FA agreed upon the sale. Remember now, no one can buy a club in England unless the FA sign off on it and say yes.
The FA is a rubber stamp in that case. The FA don't have much regulation to stop it.
Yes, they can.
What card would you use to say somebody say I want to sell and this person I'm a seller and I have a buyer?
Let me explain it to you. So to ensure
within the regulation, what within the regulation to stop a deal like that?
First of all, the FA have to make sure that this person is in good standings. This person can afford. This person can grow the club. The club won't be in bankruptcy next year or next 2 years, right?
Did the FA failed in their background check on the buyers?
No, they didn't.
They didn't.
No, but listen, the reason I'm making that point, and because so last year Newcastle was very, very close to being sold to someone
Not
Arab.
American. Arab.
No, from Asia. And the FA took so long to make a decision to rubber stamp the deal. The company pulled out.
And it could be for a good reason. You
No,
know
it could
that
be for some reason, you know.
you know the Arabs, you know some region, let me not say Arab, some companies and some individual that operate in some region, it's harder to vet.
Yeah, no, I mean, you see, you gotta know where the money. You gotta know where the money is coming from.
Exactly. So I don't think you can blame the FA.
No, I'm not blaming. Listen, I'm not blaming the FA at all. I'm just saying I don't understand why Manchester United fans are behaving like that, as if Glazer stuck up at the owner at gunpoint and said, "Sell me the business or else." That wasn't the deal.
It's probably more historical than football, and you probably know this too. It's coming from when the war in the US, when them run them out of US. There's a love-hate relationship.
War for independence, there is.
Yes, there is from ever since there's a love-hate relationship between US and England, because US want this independence, fight, won it, run them out of the country, and took some stance. Them even tamper with the people in language deliberately as a sign of rebellion. Them people don't like them for them so little things, virgin. And US is a country that everybody loves to hate. US don't want to admit it, because they feel everybody love them, but they're a country that everybody loves to hate. Quietly too. Quietly.
Listen, there is no doubt about that. But so you remember who owned Liverpool before Tom Warner? And
that thing I never have ownership in it. When name?
Liverpool?
Elton John never have ownership in it.
No, that was Watford.
Watford.
Yeah. So before Fenway Sports Group took over, and Fenway is owned by Tom Warner, right? Tom Warner and John Henry, right? Those two guys own Liverpool. Before those two guys were two American owners, right? I'm going to tell you the story because I have a point to make.
So American was there before the Americans, no?
Yeah, and before that was an Englishman, right? And he sold to Americans, right? I wasn't happy with that sale to the first set of Americans because I don't think they bought the club purely for business. They had no plans for the club. They were investing in the club.
But to make money in any industry, you have to have plan for the entity. You can't just suck up money out of something that is not renewing itself to have forward planning. So as business people, I have a problem with that statement and make that them never under plan. It's a straight for business purpose, but them never under plan for the entity or for the product.
Listen,
for the
they
product,
said that
them have to have some plan for the product. So how
okay. So listen, we're not talking about a piece of land, you know. They have to build up on.
Yeah, man. Anything you have.
No, but we're talking about a Liverpool Football Club, and we're talking about a Manchester United Football Club. If you can maintain, just like how Kroenke is maintaining Arsenal, he's not really spending much, he's maintaining it, and if that man was to sell Arsenal, he would make millions over the money that he spent to buy it in the first place. Right? That's what the previous USA owner was doing. He was just maintaining the club. He knows a club has value.
And when you say maintain, what you put on maintenance as?
Maintenance is okay, maintain the stadium. You buy 1 or 2 players here and there. You're not breaking the bank to bring in any players. You're not making this wow signing. You're like, oh my God, damn, man. Ooh, we get the player there. Hottest thing in Europe. Or the hottest thing in South America. They're not doing that. They're buying players to maintain the thing. And if they develop a player and he costs a lot of money, the first opportunity they get, hey, you remember Liverpool at one point was a selling club? Who does a sell players? We're not bringing nobody with name. As soon as you develop something and them look good, boom, sell him.
After a while, yeah, they start doing that.
That might talk about. No, okay.
Michael Owen, Fowler, the Spanish guy that I really like, but went to Chelsea.
Okay, so Fernando Torres.
Torres.
Xavi Alonso, and the other player, midfielder, defensive midfielder who went to Real Madrid, Spanish player, I forgot his name, right? He's those 3 particular players was during that time, or during that period of ownership, but for that owner, he sold these players. John Henry, Warner comes in. No, this guy had to sell, They had to sell. First of all, they couldn't get along. They couldn't agree on anything. Could not agree on anything. Right? And they were running out of money. So they sell the club to 2 other Americans. Now, the reason why I was happy about this sale is to get rid of those 2 assholes. Right?
So you choose evils.
No, but
Can you never like the Americans have coming in either?
no, I had no. The only problem I have with these Americans coming in is because I'm a Yankee fan, and these guys own the Boston Red Sox. That was my problem, purely on that end. I'm a Yankee fan.
You have a baseball problem.
And the Boston Red Sox owner is buying up my beloved Liverpool. But these guys had a plan, These guys had a plan, and not only did they just say, I have a plan, they had everything ready. They wanted to build a new stadium. A lot of people didn't want to leave Anfield.
Sentimental attachment, yeah.
So they have redeveloped Anfield. They have increased capacity at Anfield, and they're not even finished. They spend money, and they bring in players, and they bring in Jurgen Klopp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we have won the Champions League, and after 30 years, we have won the league. So
Yeah.
and no, the reason I'm saying this is because let me tell you something. You see, if this is Liverpool fans.
So Liverpool fans forgot all of that this week?
No, what I'm saying, the Liverpool fans did protest. At one point, the grandson of Shankly, Bill Shankly, the great Bill Shankly, wanted to remove his statue from outside Anfield. However, they have not been that aggressive and staunch in the protest as Manchester United and Arsenal. I'm saying because we kind of like our American owner a little bit more. If the first two Americans were at the helm, they would tear them apart. They would tear them apart. They would have them for breakfast.
You know, too much things, too much emotion mixed up in that thing.
Of
Too
course,
much
of course.
misplaced emotions and not focus on everything. Because I care less where the man come from. That I mean. I want them to develop the sport. I want them to watch the because you touch a point, you know, about Arsenal. The prudent Arsenal.
Yeah.
We got football number one. Each club is a business. So I don't want you to say this man buy it for a business because when them can't buy it for no and a recreational. A business. That's a number one thing. I can show that through the window.
When you're done, I'm gonna rebut what you just said.
Yeah, man. So yeah, spend my money for possible returns on my money. Fine. For me to get returns on my money, I have to do some investment. So we're always at debate. Or you put where you fix first, the chicken or the egg. Because some people are gonna start this and some say, no, you say you have to start or you have to spread it even. So debate you always do this. Arsenal tight on money spending over the years. Because they were settled on the maintenance, what you call, going to Champions League, winning FA Cup, and fans say, you know what? We in the top four, we work with it. And the fans keep coming. Once the fans now protest, we keep business as usual, and them books look good. Compare that to some other clubs who hang them at way person, and them wage bill cannot be met because them revenue weak, right? And the football clubs in the turmoil, and after hours I look to sell, or hours I look bail out, or hours I violate something, and always in the media for the wrong reason. Arsenal choose the wrong way. I can't blame Arsenal for that. Because the alternative to that, you know, is to end up like a Barcelona. The alternative to that is to end up like a Juventus. So me can't blame a club to say, you know what, we want to remain relevant and we are going to spend within the means. Me can't blame a club to do that. That's my point. We just can't blame them. If the businessman take if a real businessman take a real business decision, it will look something like what Arsenal look like.
Yeah, but you just remember the English don't want to see the club run like a business.
They want to be competitive. So they want the top players then. We want to attract top players. But top players, you know, so I focus on the money thing, you know, because I write as a rich, you know, the money thing in football and the overspending. And the overvaluing of players. The overvaluing of players mash up clubs. Literally. Tear down clubs.
Let me ask a question. How long, since you've been watching football, have you been hearing clubs complain about overvalue of players and talking about coming up with a cap? How long?
Forever.
What was done? What has been done?
Nothing. It just get worse and worse because me see a Sterling. I say Sterling no value so much money. Me see Maguire becomes the most paid transferred fee for Maguire to go back. Maguire not good, that good.
Who is the highest paid goalkeeper in the world?
Emmanuel.
So the highest goalkeeper in the world is currently sitting on the bench at Chelsea.
True. Because my youth they come, yes. And make some boo-boo and them send for When name again? Mendes?
No, Mendy is a new goalkeeper.
Yeah, I said them sent for Mendy fast.
Yeah, Mendy, yeah.
He make some boo-boo and them sent for Mendy fast. And pay Mendy probably quarter where he might get paid for on the bench.
Yeah, and
Mendy not get the money. Mendy not get the money. Comparatively,
No, not compared to him, but and it has been like this for years, where you spend a ton of money on the look, and Andy Carroll. So Andy Carroll scored a beautiful goal against Arsenal. Andy Carroll for Newcastle. When Newcastle played Arsenal.
Yeah, man.
And Liverpool shell out millions of dollars on that rocks. And he came on the field strutting like a peacock, like he's the best thing since sliced bread.
How long him take for loan him out? And with the big money.
A year.
The West Ham end up.
It end up at West Ham. And he might have gone somewhere else on loan, then went up at West Ham, and now he's back at Newcastle. But I see that guy strutting on the rocks, no good.
But
and we wasted millions of dollars on him. When you hear about Scottish football, you hear about Rangers and Celtics. Right? Rangers was relegated several years ago. Almost went out.
Financial problem.
Yeah, and they didn't just drop in the second division. I think they dropped third or fourth division. And had to work their way up. And they finally got back. And they finally won the Scottish Championship. Who coached them?
Nobody cares. Nobody. Not here. Nobody cares.
My esteemed colleague doesn't wanna. He knows who. For those of who don't know, Steven Gerrard, an ex-Liverpool player, a Liverpoolian, one of the best captain at Liverpool Football Club. Captain Fantastic, he's called. He brought the Scottish Championship finally back to Rangers. Although I'm a Celtic fan, I prefer Celtics. I prefer the whole Catholic thing, so I prefer Celtics. But for those who know, those two clubs are called the Old Firm, and they've always been battling for the Scottish Championship. If it's at Rangers, it's Celtics,
We'll stop talking about coaching now. All right, coach.
Yeah.
Stop about football.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share our videos. And don't forget to comment
and hit that notification bell.
This has been another episode of Teach and the Prof.